10 times the investment. Becton got his money back 10 times the investment on leaving the Jets and going to Philadelphia, signing with the Chargers. That's return on investment. That's what Jeff Stoutland does for you. And, oh, by the way, he puts guys in Canton. Guy's a machine. All right. Well, what names do we come up with? Hold on. I got to do something here. Oh, because I'm going to need it here. Malibu hurts. Hollywood hurts. And all this off of, what is his name? John Clark? I need a quarterback in Philly, a real one. This is the best time of the year. God, I love this time of the year. Without further ado, by the way, all you Stunads in here, in case you don't know how much I love you, I took the morning show in Tampa off so Big Sills could be armed and ready. Okay? That's what we do here. Without further ado. Big J! Zander Krause joins us now.
My bad. What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother? You're sounding a little more fresh today.
Absolutely, and especially with Malibu hurts.
What do you mean Malibu hurts? Like, what are you talking about here? Malibu hurts.
Well, he lives in California. He don't live in Philly. You know, you guys are telling me in here he lives in Malibu now. He's on Sunset Strip, chasing the honeys around there. You know, he's got a big.
Who said he's in Malibu? Fuck Prince?
I don't know.
What does Prince know? Prince doesn't know shit.
Hurts is living out in Malibu now. He's over there on the cliffs hanging out.
Jalen's probably bouncing around for his 5 weeks off and probably still working out. Probably going to get working in Texas at Channelview where his dad's a coach and his brother's a coach. Probably going to do that. Probably bounce out to the quarterback coaches out in Cali for a little bit. Jalen Hurts is fine. I mean, what are we doing here, Sileo?
I'm just going to go off a tweet here by A.J. Brown himself. I need a real quarterback in Philly. A real quarterback, a real one. So you're trying to tell me to throw to this summer. So let's just take Malibu Hurts out of this. Tanner McKee's not around. Dorian Stiff Thompson Robinson's not around. And Kyle McCord aren't around. This guy just floats that out there. 5 guys are under contract plus a scouting team guy. And he's saying, I need a quarterback to throw to me.
He should be hanging out with Kyle McCord, man. Kyle McCord's a Philly.
Yeah.
He grew up in, I think, in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, which is close to the city. That's where he should be hanging out, man. I think AJ's on the Jersey side as well. So come on, man. Get on the phone with Kyle McCord. Yeah. I didn't really think anything of it, honestly. This is a Big Sills. I thought the guy wants to get working, and he needs a good quarterback.
Like you're telling me nobody's available on the roster?
I don't know. How do I know?
I don't know either. I just go by what he said.
I know you don't know. You're just guessing. I mean,
I'm not guessing. I'm reading. I mean, you're telling me he's got to get a high school quarterback to throw to him for 6
Kyle
weeks?
McCord's a pro, man. He's a pro.
No. He said, I need someone to throw to. Why didn't he just fucking ask Kyle McCord?
I don't know. Apparently, Kyle McCord's going to be at his lake house, Trevor says. So,
so wait. Boy, I tell you, man, all these Eagle quarterbacks now got Malibu Hurts, you got fucking all these guys. Tanner McKee.
That's what happens when you're the face of football, man. That's how it goes, man. You got a lot of things going on.
How can you be the face of football when you're not even the face of your team?
What do you mean? Who the Olympics use on the cover for the face of entirety of football? What do you mean? It's Jalen Hurts, the face Olympics. Of football.
Yeah, because the Olympics are a benchmark now. Come on. I'll tell you what I did like.
It's worldwide. You missed the point.
I got to tell you, man. I love listening to Barkley talk. I do. I mean, he really said some great things. He goes like this. He goes, yeah, I'm really enjoying myself, you know. By the way, he wanted 2105 because someone goes, what do you think about going 2K? And he goes, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. So you're telling me, wait, he wants to go for 2K, but he didn't want 2105, right?
Well, I mean, it's easier to sit back and before the season to make a proclamation like that. I mean, when you're in the moment, in the game, and you're one game away, and you're obviously have the situation of the playoffs looming, you make a different decision in the moment than when you talk about a season and you know, as it's going to play out in the future. Obviously, he's going to, you know, strive to have great metrics and goals, you know, that would put him in rarefied air. Obviously, he's a great player and he wants to achieve great things, but obviously it's also a different approach, you know, in the season when you're, hey, we get the playoffs looming. Hey, we're trying to go to a Super Bowl. You know, all those different factors dictate which way you go.
Okay.
But I do like listening to him too. But I did want to ask you the one thing. I mean, did you happen to hear like the one comment about, you know, everyone around me is telling me to take it easy, so I'm listening to them, even when I watch Henry and Christian McCaffrey working and so I'm not saying I'm at all concerned about Saquon Barkley. I'm just wondering. What level are we talking here? You know what I mean? You don't want to come in flat-footed a little bit because you weren't running full speed all off season.
Well, let me give you a little bit of a back and forth between.
I mean, remember, wait a second. You chirp Jalen a little bit for going Hollywood. I love Saquon, but same as there, right? He's golfing with the president. He's doing a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean?
It's a good pull by you because I heard Magic Johnson and Larry say this during their rivalry. And I would think maybe Henry and Barkley have a little friendly rivalry going back and forth on who's going to be the top guy every year in the league. Everybody has that because there was always Elway and Marino. You always wondered who the better guy was. So I would say this to you. When Magic would turn and he would see Larry Bird in the numbers, he'd go, man, I know Larry Bird is in that gym shooting 500 extra shots every single day. I got to do 1,000. Kobe used to say the same shit about Iverson. So
I agree.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, kind of. I mean, you just heard Saquon and I do understand because the other part of this is like there is a history associated with running backs who had the type of workload that Saquon did. And it's not particularly a pretty history, you know, after they achieve those accolades and run for that many yards and catch it, touches and all those things. So I understand viewing it and say, I can't escape 6 months of the year. I'm going to be putting my body through hell. I can't escape that. The other 6 months I can control. So let me manage that. I understand that line of thinking completely, but I don't want to get you into a situation, Sills, where Saquon's golfing all off season, you know, and he's like, yeah, I'll turn the Jets on when the season comes. You're almost 30. You know what I mean? You better make sure your body stays fresh. So I think he's good though. I'm not really worried about it. I just didn't know if you took anything from it.
See, one thing Big Sales does, you know, I hear things sometimes and I have a different perspective on it. I heard Jalen Hurts say something pretty profound. One of the dudes in the pit asked this question: what do you think of Kevin Patullo and what you guys are doing with installing as a play caller? He goes, whoa. Way too early. The sequencing, we don't know yet how that's going to be. To sit around and tell me how that's going to go down, I don't know yet. We're trying to get a feel for it. That to me is a wait and see with Jalen on how kind of feel of the game he has and what he said there. It wasn't a rip, but he was just, again, being honest when he was being asked, what kind of play caller do you think? He goes, whoa, way too early. We don't know that yet until we get in the game and we see the sequencing. And what he means by that's a feel of the game, Zander, that he has in game when he gets the opportunity when the bullets are real. That's my takeaway on what he meant. Wasn't a rip, but he wasn't going to answer that question on what kind of play caller he is, sitting around in fucking helmets and shorts.
Yeah, and I think remember what unfolded last year, Sills, with at this exact time, 5 weeks before training camp, when they broke after mandatory minicamp, Jalen made the comment about the 90% new going into the offseason. And, you know, remember, we made a lot of that for 5 straight weeks. We did. We in hindsight, thank you, Jalen Hurts. You know, he helped us out with content all last offseason. But I think he learned from that. And I think I think it kind of applies back to Jalen's overall philosophy of the process is more important than the result. Like you can come in with a new coordinator and say, I want to be here, 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 and here, but that's not really what it's about. It's about doing the right things every single day, every single step of the process to get to the goal that you want, or to get to where he wants to be as an offense or a quarterback or a coordinator for Patullo. So I think it's just an embracing of that. It's an embracing of the process with patience. But, I like to use a term, macro patience, micro speed. So they're attacking everything in the daily and letting kind of the macro part of it come together as you do the right things day by day.
So he works out with Jahan Dotson, but not AJ.
Okay.
Having the time to work with Jahan like I have.
Listen, they're not boys anymore. That's the truth. They when they came over here, remember they were on the FaceTime and everything.
So he works out more now with Jahan than he does with AJ?
Who, Hurts? Why do you say that? Was he working with Jahan?
Right here, I have it written down. I've had more time to work out with Jahan. We've been throwing with each other this offseason. And last year he came at the very end prior to the start of the season. And now we've had more time to work in the offseason together.
Right. Yeah, I think that's Hurts. Just kind of give it, helping a guy out like that. Jahan Dotson contract year. Obviously, want to get him more involved. Obviously, you want to make everybody you're only as good as your weakest link. So you want to make, obviously, rising tide lifts all boats. Lift Jahan up. Do something like that. I don't think AJ Brown needs it. I mean, let's be real. So it's great, and obviously they should be thrown together. But this isn't like AJ Brown is really lacking or in anything. All right. They're maybe they need 5 weeks off from each other, Jalen and AJ. All right. The one thing I will say, and I don't really care about it because they've been successful on the field, but their relationship has definitely changed since they've started working together. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they were buddy. Obviously, I think Jalen is the godfather to AJ's kid. So now I don't know what that means to him, or if it's not a big meaning. I don't know. I'm a godfather. It means a lot to me. I would like to think it means a lot to everybody that is, but I don't know. I don't know if it is a lot for them. And obviously the relationship has changed. I mean, it used to be, you would think, all right, I want everybody to put on like their bro cap for a second. Like you go and toss with the boy, your homie, you know what I mean? Your fucking best friends, you're making $50 million and $32 million. You made it. You and your boy can look at each other. Yo, dap me up. We made it. We did it, bro. Let's go throw the ball around. Let's get ready for the season. Let's plot on what we're going to do, how many yards we're going to get. So I get it. I mean, the relationship has changed, but I got no issue with it.
Maybe it's in the best.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe it's better that they're
maybe keeping him at arm's length is best.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they're more an acquaintance, or I don't know what the right word.
Teammates.
Yeah, teammates. There you go. Right. I mean, but I don't think it's as big as we're making it. I think Jalen's just not going to be in the area for the next 5 weeks.
That's right. That's why he needs a quarterback, a real one.
Well, he's probably got a bunch of magazine shoots, and he did go big time this year. That's the reality. The guy gets Super Bowl MVP. He's on every magazine cover. He's getting married. Everybody wants to know about his life. He's at GQ. He's at the Met Gala. I mean, listen, that's part of being a star. All right, you don't win Super Bowls without doing that stuff. It's just the reality of it. So embrace it, and it definitely has changed some dynamics.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things in that presser yesterday was this one, though. Yeah, man, I talked to MJ and talked to, Derek Jeter, and I had a good conversation with MJ. This guy fucking name drops more than big sales. Holy shit, man. This guy is like, I had a good conversation about repeating.
Well, remember, he is a Jordan athlete. He is a Jordan athlete. And Derek Jeter, I believe.
Anti-Philly.
No, Derek Jeter is a Jordan athlete. Michael Jordan's a Jordan athlete. Jalen Hurts has become the face of Jordan athletes.
He is not the face.
Oh, really? Name me a bigger one.
Well, here. You think he's the face?
Name me a bigger one.
Wait, he's the face of the Jordan brand.
Name me a bigger one. Modern day athlete bigger right now.
Let's see.
Jason Tatum? Maybe. Jason Tatum.
No fucking way bigger than Hurts.
That's what I mean.
Athletes, Nike, Jordan brand, not Nike brand, right?
Jordan brand, not Nike.
Yeah,
Nike's a different ball game. I mean, they are obviously owned by Nike, but Jordan is a different.
Yeah, completely. You think he's bigger than Luka Doncic?
No, probably not. I don't know. How many people watch Luka in the playoffs? How many people watch Jalen Hurts raise the trophy? 150 million?
You think Jalen Hurts is a bigger media star than Dak?
Well, I think Jalen is a much more media darling type of guy that the media would want to be the face. But Dak is, I mean, let's be real.
Dak's on the Cowboys.
Dak's on the Cowboys. He's not very interesting. Like Jalen, at least, even if you don't like Jalen's an interesting cat. Like
I'm asking.
He moves different. He acts different. He talks different. He does things differently. Like that's people like that. You know, Dak is like a regular dude. I don't know. He's not that interesting to me. But I think you're right. Yeah.
Do you think? I look Zion Williamson. I'm sorry, dog. I think Jordan. I mean, I think Jalen's bigger than that guy. Am I wrong?
Dude, the only two in the room are Luka and Jason Tatum, and I think Hurts is honestly. I mean, I think football's bigger. So, but I get it. Basketball guys become really big. Let me look.
Here are the names right now. Here, Jason Tatum, like you said, Luka Doncic. Let's see. Like, yeah, I mean.
That's it. I told you he's the face of Jordan. He's the face of Jordan.
Dak is.
No.
But wait.
You don't even believe that. I saw the gripe in your face as you said that.
The only reason he is because it's on the Cowboys, not because he's a better athlete.
Who does Jordan promote?
Who are more eyeballs on every year? The Cowboys or the Eagles? Come on.
It's pretty comparable.
Oh, my God.
It is.
The Cowboys are the biggest brand on the planet for
I know that, and I'm not taking away from him. In fact, I'm the kind of guy that gives Jerry Jones a lot of credit. He doesn't give a shit about football. Joke's on all of us. We care that he stinks at football. He's laughing his way to the bank as his team goes up another $1 billion per year.
And I think he's average.
I think Hurts is the bigger face right now of Jordan Brand than Dak Prescott is.
How can you be a bigger face when you're not got more eyeballs on
Okay, what has Dak Prescott done this summer?
It's not the point. It's who he plays for.
Well, I get that. But right now, the momentum is all on Jalen Hurts, not Dak.
I mean, see, Hurts is not, a Messi. He's not.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
He could play anywhere.
That's Mahomes. Let's be real. The only guy in the league right now that has that type of appeal, I think, would be Mahomes. Messi level of like, transcends kind of like the sport and all those different things. And, it's probably Mahomes. I don't know, dude. If Hurts wins another ring, he's going to be in that category.
I agree. I do. I tell you this.
He keeps winning at this clip, dude.
And by the way, I think fucking drama around the Eagles is a good thing.
Yeah, and by the way, the more
eyeballs on them.
Well, for sure, but more sustained success. The more their success is sustained, the more Jalen Hurts will get credit. Because right now you can. I mean, and I don't think like this, but I'm saying there is a line of thinking that exists of they got a great team. Oh, look at Howie. If they have 4 or 5 years of success or they get multiple rings, I mean, people around the globe admire winning. That's the fact. Why is Jordan a star? Why is all the biggest stars? Winning is a big part of it, right? Even LeBron, I mean, went to 10 finals for 10 straight years. How does he not become a superstar, right? So if Jalen keeps winning, I think he's in that category. But Jalen is the face of Jordan right now.
Okay, let me go here. Here's the face of the Eagles secondary. And listening to I forget one of the guys you had on, and I started laughing when I heard this. Man, I saw Keely Ringo out there in helmets and shorts and fucking 7-on-7. What a day he had. And I started doing this. Hang on for a minute. You're trying to fucking tell me without the pads on, a guy had a great day on 7-on-7 in fucking shorts and a helmet. And you're not going to be deterred, or you're going to be deterred off a fight, Jair Alexander, because he had a good day in shorts. Come on, man.
This will go down as Brian Pumper's greatest take of all time. Brian Pumper's been saying since last season that his seventh heaven, Keely Ringo, was going to be a star. And all of the bricks are laid. The foundation is down. They are pouring the concrete. Everything is coming together perfectly for Keely Ringo. My seventh heaven, as Brian Pumper calls him, to be the next great cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait a minute.
Still start to believe.
Let me let this set in. Adoree Jackson, who was whacked in New York, and Keely Ringo. If that's the guys you have going into this year as your corner too, okay. Good luck.
No. I'm getting
Good
that
luck.
smell is coming back. Wait.
Keely fucking Ringo, who
It's
couldn't
the
even
no
see.
holes
Hey,
defense.
that guy couldn't even see fucking time last year.
Dude, no
Keely
holes
Ringo.
defense is returning. It's
Oh.
returning.
Okay, Keely Ringo. You're confident. Wait, one last time. Let me write it down. Get the fucking book out.
Wait a sec.
How good a year is Keely Ringo gonna have?
I got something for you as well to go with that. Keely Ringo will be a star. Congratulations, Brian Pumper. You can put that one in the win column.
How do
Be
you know?
pumped. I want to go back to something here, Mr. Sileo.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna toot my own horn here a little bit, okay? I'm gonna toot it. It might be a little early to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot it anyway.
All
Roll through my notes here. All right, back on March 24th. You and I did a segment here on the show. Bold predictions for the 2025 season.
Okay.
If you go to my bold predictions, here they are. All right. Got my paper up, my green screen's up. Number 7, Josh Uche will be the best bargain signing of the year. Did you hear Lane Johnson talking about Josh Uche, giving him fits in practice, baby? Get ready, Sills, because Josh Uche is going to be a stud this year.
June 11th.
Here's Silio's shitty predictions.
Yeah.
Commanders will win the NFC East. What a shitty prediction.
Yeah.
I like your 6th one, though. Jalix Hunt will have more sacks than Nolan Smith.
Oh, I got it for you here. Here's a question for you on that. Give me 5 breakout Eagles.
5 breakout Eagles. Cooper DeJean takes the next step towards superstardom.
I got him 3rd.
Superstardom. All right, it's one thing to be a star. He solidified himself massively.
I think he makes the All-Pro team
in the Super Bowl. All right, that play he made in the Super Bowl, that's the type of play that lives in infamy in the NFL. That made him a massive star. I think he now, with more attention on him, I think he catapults himself to the top of the league in terms of stardom. Jalen Hurts, again, baby, will take another leaping step forward for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's now his offense.
That guy could take a skip, and it would be a big fucking leap from last year.
I'm going off the top of my head. Let's go Jalix Hunt. He's got to be on there, right?
I got 1.
All right, Jalix Hunt, number 1. I like that a lot. All right, let's see. I got 3 of them in there.
Number 2, I got Matt Pryor starting at guard.
All right, I like that. Is that a breakout candidate, though? I don't know about that.
Well, do you think Mekhi Becton was a breakout for his career last year?
Yeah, Mekhi was, but Pryor's a little bit different. He's been a little bit of a journeyman. Mekhi would be more like Kenyon Green.
I got Ty Robinson, number 4.
Ty's a great one. That's a great one. I would take that one all day. I'll put him on mine, too.
I mean, look, I think Cooper's going to be a fucking superstar. I mean, you may – here are the candidates. You know what I saw about Zach? Let me ask you something about him. He spoke too. You think he's going to do it again?
I think so.
You think he plays at that? How about this? You think he plays at that same level every week like he did a year ago? Or was that just off the charts?
My gut feeling is yes, because when I watched him play, it didn't look like it was an accident. All right, it looked like the guy was somebody just honed his skill properly and gave him the right coaching, right? Like put him in the right position, and that's what Vic did. So my gut tells me yes. I think Zach Bond is going to be tremendous. Now, if you want to go objective here for a second, you could make an argument like 1 year, does he know how to sustain success at that position? You know, like for example, and this again, I don't really even believe this. I'm just throwing it out there as another way to think about it.
Well, shit, don't do that on the morning show, but go ahead. You're cool
right.
Here.
Zach Bond, if you went and watched like Fred Warner train in the offseason, right, you'd be like, Fred Warner knows how to fucking train for the season, right? Like he's been a linebacker his whole life. He's dominated at every level. I'm gonna go and watch that guy train, and I'm gonna know exactly what to watch and what to learn from.
By you.
Zach Bond, it's like you could say Does Bond know what he's doing? Does he know how? And it's not a knock on him. It's more
Next
new
level.
to him.
Next level
New
shit.
to him. He's never been this good as a linebacker ever in his career.
Routine,
I think that's a fair take, but I think he's going to be good just because I think he's so good. I think he's really a talented guy, and Vic knows how to use him. So I think now with another year under the Vic Fangio, in the Vic Fangio defense, I think Vic's going to even know how to use him even more. And I do think who else is going to help him is going to be guys like Jahad Campbell and Jalix Hunt, because they're so versatile. What does that allow you to do with a guy like Zach Bond, who also has a very versatile skill set? I think Bond's going to have a really good year, but I could understand if someone was like, I want to see it again. I can understand that. Wouldn't be
Listen,
crazy.
when you listen to him talk yesterday, someone asked him, and he goes, do you think you're going to have the same type of year? He goes, I'll have to just wait and see what you guys think. And he was asked, somebody asked him about personal goals. He goes, I'm just working on the little things right now. So the shit you're talking about, Zander, he's learning how to be a next level player right now. Like Jalen Hurts is learning how to be a next level quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a great sign that he doesn't even know yet what he's doing, because he's got to get, like you said, Fred Warner every year does this. January comes, he's preparing for the upcoming season. He'll take a week off, 10 days off. He'll get back in the grind, start running one.
Yeah, right.
And then he'll know, then he'll start hitting the sled. Then he'll start watching game film. Then he'll start watching new installments, OTAs, minicamp. He'll have a routine. Zach's never been in that.
Exactly.
He's been a special teams dude.
I'm happy you got exactly what I meant. That's exactly what I meant. Basically exactly what I meant. Like even, a good example of this right now is, have you ever seen the dudes who go and train with Aaron Donald? Even right now, like there was a picture of Jared Verse training with him. And it's like, dude, you show up at Aaron Donald, even 2-3 years now post-retirement, whenever he retired a couple of years ago, Aaron Donald's not looking, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing for the seat? They're all there. They're moving on Aaron Donald time. All right. He knows exactly what to do in the gym, and you know it. You don't question it. You don't look around. You don't say, hey, maybe we should do this. You're like, what's your regimen? I'm doing it.
Correct.
So that's where I think Bond is going to have to try and find. But I think he'll be all right. I mean, I think he still has the talent needed and the skill set needed to be great.
Let me tell you another thing that was cool about him. What's your boy Joshua Uche?
Yeah.
You know how inspiring that is to have Nick Sirianni stand up in the middle of a fucking room and go, Josh, that could be you. And you have an example of that. All these guys on these one-year deals. And then what else did he say? Man, one of the coolest things is that I got people from around the league that are special teams guys now calling me and doing this. Hey, Zach, did you ever give up? Did you ever think you weren't going to get your opportunity? What did you do? Help me out here. That's fucking inspiring.
Yeah, I agree.
That creates leadership, Zander, because when people look to you because of your actions, not because of your bullshit out of your mouth, that's a big thing. And then when you have this, you know what the Eagles have in the building? They have an example of a guy who knew when nobody knew, and they go like this. That fucking could be you, dude. That Hinton kid, you were drafted late. That could be you over there, Jordan Mailata, 7th rounder. You got so many examples on personal success on that football team. If I was a young player, you don't just have first rounders. You got 7th rounders. You've got free agents. You've got late round guys who have come in and had success, and free agents that are all over the league. Jeff Stoutland, I pointed out to you, he's put $130 million worth of salaries off of last year alone in the NFL. That's a great culture in that building.
Yes, it is, man. There's no doubt about it. And that's where I do think, Sills, that, Nick Sirianni deserves some credit here, because you could maybe make the argument, all right, he's been fit in and the culture was pre-established, but to get 90 guys, 53 guys, superstars, all different guys bought into that every, week in and week out, I do think he deserves credit for.
Here's something to think about. Chip fucked that culture up. Nick did it.
It's true.
Okay. The pillars that they set up with Andy, Chip came in and fucked them up.
Nick improved on them. I do, dude. I really believe that. I mean,
you think Nick's a better coach than Doug?
I'm not saying, well, I mean, another year or two of success, I think it'd be hard to say he's not.
You
But
think Doug was a one-year wonder?
I don't think he was a one-year wonder. I think the league moves so fast, and his inability to adjust with how fast the league moves
You
kind of
mean
caught
front
up to him.
office-wise?
No, I'm not talking front office wise. I'm
Well,
talking about philosophical.
he's not in Philly because he couldn't handle how the Eagles operate.
Well, that too. But I also mean offensively. Like, I think he got a little stale and was a little bit stuck in what he thought would work 5 years versus, evolving. That's one of the reasons, Sills, that I really don't worry that the Eagles offense looks different every year, because the league is different every year. Your opponents are different every year. Your division is different every year. Every different year is going to require a different version of you. And if you're not versatile, or you're not adaptable or malleable in a way, I mean, you're going to get stuck a little bit. Eventually, it's going to be like fitting a square peg into a round hole, and you're not going to be able to do it. And I think Jalen has kind of really embodied that a little bit as well, whether he wants to or not. I think it's just been kind of a natural evolution of him. But
don't dismiss that. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, I agree.
I heard Hurts say something that I was like, there's a difference, another difference between Wentz and Hurts right there. Someone asked Jalen about all the coordinator changes. He goes, since I got here, it's 6. And then he goes like this. He goes, ask him another question. He goes, is it easier for you to be able to adapt to a new voice in the room?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it is. I think he's more comfortable now knowing and accepting that, hey, we're going to have change in this building. That's what it is. And if I fight that fucking shit, it's going to be detrimental to me. Where you have so many coordinators and coaches and quarterbacks that will fight that. They'll fight that. Okay, coaches get fired for that, like Doug. They get fired, replaced. Wentz has a meltdown because he didn't want to change. Dude, when I heard him go, hey, man, it's easier for me now than it's ever been. I think that's a big thing, Zander. I think he's accepted that. And I don't think that's that easy of a thing.
No, I think he's embracing it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's
every fucking quarterback that's in pro football today has a coordinator that's spent with them at least 3 or more years. He's never had that except for Steichen in a year and a half. Look at all the top flight guys. Mahomes has had the same guy in the building. Buck Stafford has had, now with his success, 5 years now in LA? I mean, look at all the ones that are in the same, that have the success. It's one guy in the guy's ear. And I think that goes a long way. Brady had 14 years of Josh McDaniel. Bro, I mean, I think that matters, and I think it helps in the development.
Yeah, but I think also the result of it is that it's become more Jalen Hurts is by default, because even coordinators know. Like you can't just walk in.
I think it's Jalen Hurts' huddle, not his offense, because every year the offense is different. Yeah, it's his huddle now. It's not Jason. Jason Kelsey's off. It's not
again. The more he has continued success, though, the more equity he has in that room, where someone's going to come in and say, "I'm not going to change what you're doing," right? Like, I'm going to change. Not really,
bro. 21, 22, 23, and 24 are all different.
Isn't that a good
thing? Now
his
huddle.
Isn't that a good thing?
Oh, I think he's accepted it.
Yeah, but isn't it a good thing?
Yes. But the offenses are all different.
Like, for example, if the 22 Eagles offense showed up last year, they probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl.
Okay. That's why they changed it.
Because of my point earlier about malleability, last year they called on for them to be that team, and that's why they won. Versus you have guys like, all the other teams that we talk about.
Burrow could never change like that.
Exactly. They have no, and they're going to do their thing, and it's going to look good, and they're going to be the talent and put up the numbers and everything. But do they do the things needed to win, the Super Bowl, or the games needed when they come? And I don't view that as a negative.
I think teams in the league do things to appease their quarterback and not to win games.
Oh, that might be true. That might definitely be true. I don't think they do that in Buffalo. I just think they're morons.
But here, I'm going to make one more point to you here before we read some of these supers. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. Do you know why these other general managers are afraid to do what the Eagles did last year when you guys went into the bye, Zander, you got away from your offensive passing attack and you went to the run. Why do you think that's something you'll never see anywhere else? Because it exposes the general manager's inability to build the roster into being a position where you have other great players, and it exposes. You couldn't go to Josh Allen and go, hey, we're going to take the fucking ball out of your hand and give it to Devin Bush.
Yeah,
You're going to run the ball. That would be fucking insane.
Yeah, I think it's simpler, though. They don't have offensive lines, dude.
Okay, well, it exposes the inability of those people to build rosters.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like right now, and I don't know, maybe this is a wrong feeling. You guys in the chat can tell me too. It feels like there's more good offensive linemen in the league right now. Am I wrong on that? I feel like there's more good offensive linemen right now. Like, I feel like there's been some good ones in the draft.
Really? How do you feel about the rest of the old linemen outside of Philly in the NFC East?
Yeah, I mean, Commanders are okay. Cowboys, a bunch of Tylers and a bunch of nothing burgers on those Tylers.
But New York, that left tackle,
no good.
That left tackle
in New York. Vikings are good. There's some good O-lines out there. The Rams have gotten better. The Bills are decent. I mean, the Commanders kind of rebuilt theirs a little bit. The Bears kind of rebuilt theirs a little bit.
All the guys outside the organ.
Maybe I'm just distracted because Philly's got backups who would start everywhere else. I mean, we do.
I mean, outside of Creed Humphrey on Kansas City's O-line, who else do they got?
Yeah, true. They got rid of Tooney, right? Yeah.
I couldn't name you a Rams O-lineman right now. I couldn't. Bucks, Tristan Wirfs, and the other kid, Ledecky on the other side. Okay.
And that center, right? They got that good center.
The center, Barton. He's coming along. I don't think he's anything near Cam Jurgens yet.
I mean, he's certainly not what their previous center
was. By the way,
was.
I think Cam Jurgens is underrated.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I overreacted with
that. They
got
him 13th. I'm like, fuck that. That guy, now that Ragnow's retired. I mean, hey, so what about
Sean with the point. Agreed, Sean. He said, Zander, just because you rebuilt doesn't mean you're better.
How do you right? Well, that's what Chicago did. Chicago went around and cherry picked off everybody's roster.
I'm not sure about Commanders O-line either. Everybody's all excited about Laramie Tunsil. I mean, let's see. All right, let's see.
I think they got to go on tempo with those guys. Anyway, Kevin Patullo. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident you are with him?
Well, I do think, I really do think this is going to be more Jalen Hurts than anything. I think he's going to, look at what's worked, take a little bit of each person, talk to the quarterback, figure out what the quarterback wants to do, and then obviously combine that with what the defenders are taking away. And I think you're going to have your offense. I don't think it's going to look that different. I feel pretty confident about it because the quarterback seems confident about it. He seems more comfortable with change this offseason more than any other offseason. And I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
Let me ask you this. So he didn't feel comfortable last year's offseason with a guy who just got the Saints job and won a Super Bowl, but he feels comfortable now.
No, I'm talking about the transition to Kellen last year. Remember,
Kellen came from,
and remember, you're missing the other big factor about why last year was different than this year. Jason Kelce retired. So there was a lot of newness to Jalen Hurts, even his approach in the offseason. This year, he knew, coming in, this is my thing. I manage it at the line of scrimmage.
Plus a coordinator and a center.
Right. And the center was obviously a big part of what he did on offense. So I think that was another big difference. I just think Hurts is more ready for it. I think he's more prepared for it. The one thing I'm waiting to see on Kellen is, I do think there's a knack for – in the moment play.
You mean Patullo?
Yeah, Patullo. Sorry. How does he call plays in the moment? You know what I mean? There's a feel for it, I think, on
situational play calling.
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. But, here's the thing I'd ask you, though. Was Kellen Moore a good situational play caller?
Fuck no.
Right. He just had a good offensive line and a good running.
You know what he was? He saw the room.
Well, that's part of it.
The room.
Right, but that means if he saw the room, then he was a good situational play caller.
Yes, but that's more macro. That's not micro because he didn't fucking improve the offense.
Right. Well, he did.
I thought Barkley did.
That's how. I know, but Well,
So wait, I thought the run coordinator was Stoutland.
that's true. Well,
So
run game coordinator. I don't know what that means. I mean, how much is that? I don't know.
yeah, does he go like
I don't
this?
know the inner workings, but I do know that Kellen. I don't know if I ever got the sense that he was a great situational play caller, which really shows you that Kevin might not even have to be, dude, when you have this good of an offense, and your
He was
offensive
great in the
line.
Super Bowl, though. He was great in the
Great.
Super Bowl, and he was great in the NFC title game.
Was that
Both-
Jalen though, man?
It's-
Jalen
I
checks
think
in
it's
the
both of them. I thought it was both of them
like
in the
Jalen.
preparation.
I think the other thing too is like remember that Rams game, right? Where Saquon had
Yeah.
the big run in the house. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Saquon. You're right, and it's the offensive line. But like, you watch that play pre-snap. Jalen checked into that play pre-snap. You can easily see him check into it at the line of scrimmage. First play of the game, checks right into it, and boom, off Saquon goes. So I do think Hurts deserves some credit too for getting the team into the right place, which is what Brady, on that clip talks about. Well, that's what quarterbacks need to do well: get you into the right play.
Okay. Hey, let's hit some of these supers, guys. By the way, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Thank you.
Sikorsky, what up, Kyle? Last time I seen a quarterback have this many coordinators was when Alex Smith was in San Francisco.
They had a fucking ton of them out there on him, man. I always thought it stunted his growth. But I'll say again, one thing though, Kyle. Alex Smith was a very underrated quarterback. Was he exceptional? No. But he helped out Patrick Mahomes so much in Kansas City. I was a big fan of his, man. I mean, I like Alex Smith. Then that catastrophic knee injury he had at the end of his career. I got to tell you, man, I'm a fan of his, but I think all those coordinators hurt him.
Rashid checks in. What's up, Rashid? I think with Kevin P coming in as the offensive coordinator, the passing game will be a bigger part of the offense, being as though he was the pass game coordinator.
Why?
Yeah, Kellen Moore had a passing background too, dude.
Yeah, Kellen Moore never had a run game. He was never a run game coordinator.
I think the offense is going to have.
Point. Why the fuck would you change the recipe?
I think the passing game is going to be better for a simple reason. All right.
Stop taking sacks.
There's ebbs and flows. Like, they're going to come back to the middle. They had a low year passing last year. They're not going to be 31st passing or whatever they were last year. They're not. They're going to improve a little bit. Defenses are going to try and take away the run more. Jalen's going to want to throw the ball more. AJ's going to want the ball more.
Hopefully those guys aren't hurt too, the two receivers.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Rashid, thanks for the super, brother. Christopher Michael, what's up, Christopher? Ringo should move to safety. He won't work at cornerback. Wrong. He's going to be a stud.
Christopher, the only Ringo I know that's great is from the Beatles. It ain't going to be Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. Those guys all of a sudden, believe me, if Putin was on the Eagles, he'd be a fucking superstar to Eagle fans.
That was hilarious when you were chirping at Emrys. Khaled says the dead zone is officially here. This sucks. There's no
dead zone on this bitch. Are you kidding me? Malibu hurts.
I've never heard of a dead zone in my life, Khaled.
Absolutely, man.
Kokorski again. It seems Lyman age on opposite directions.
Yeah.
Did you hear Lane Johnson?
Lane goes, I'm in my prime.
He says, I feel like I'm finally getting close to my prime.
So was he really injured like at 17, 18, 19? Was he really hurt like that?
Dude, even more recently than that. He's played a lot of injured football. Like, even when he had nagging pain and he was playing through. He said last year or 2 years ago was like one of the first seasons that he really felt healthy all the way through.
That's fucking great.
Ride on the bench checking in. What's up? You guys have concern that Petula will change the language on offense. If no changes, there won't be a curve for Hurts. Maybe offense takes next step. I don't think he's going to change it for that reason, riding the bench.
No, to me, riding the bench, it's going to just be what Zander said. Situational play calling. There'll be a different feel to it. You heard Hurts even say, Hurts was asked about his play calling, and Jalen said, whoa. Way too early for that. I've got to see what the sequencing is.
Yeah, and remember here, too, this is a little bit of a different circumstance than we've had in the past. Like, remember, when Nick first took it over, Nick was an offensive coordinator and came, and Shane Steichen had a different offensive background, and they were the mesh, right? They merged to make the offense. Both of those guys are different play callers. Both of them had a different idea of what the terminology should be. Then you go to Brian Johnson. That was probably a little bit of a different scenario because they promoted them from within. Then you bring in Kellen Moore, who was an offensive coordinator for 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 2 number 1 offenses. He was bringing his terminology in. With Kevin Patullo, he's been here through all these coordinators, so he kind of doesn't really have his own terminology. The terminology he's had has been what Jalen's had. So he can look at Jalen and say, what's your favorite terminology from the last 4 years? Let's use that, or what
That's how I would do it.
And then that would become what Kevin Patullo's terminology is if he went on to a new team or something. So
that's why it's so much easier to hire from within, because the language doesn't change in the play.
Yeah, right. That's always the desire. Kimberly checks in. What's up, Kimberly? It was Fangio taught Jalen to read defenses. Maybe a little bit.
Here's what I think he ended up last year. When you learn how to read defenses, it's through setting protections, because you've got 3 landmarks: free, strong, and you have the nickel. And when you're looking where those guys are across the line in the secondary of the defense, your pre-snap reads and where potential pressure is coming from. And where does pressure traditionally come from, Zander, in today's NFL? Interior.
Yep.
Doesn't come from perimeter. That's why those guys are paid a lot. Why do you think they're paid a lot? Because they don't have manufactured interior perimeter splits packages. You got a guy like Myles Garrett who gets off the edge and rushes and gets home, sets the edge, does all that shit. The majority of the pressure that gives quarterbacks, even Brady, was internal pressure. I mean, that's where you bring pressure. Right, Xander, the closest way and the fastest way to get to somebody is a straight line.
Yeah.
Not fucking off the edges.
Yep, absolutely. Myles Garrett, he'll go around the edge. He'll go through the edge. He'll go through the middle. He doesn't care where you are. He's going to get to the quarterback.
Beast of a
I think here's the, with Jalen.
He's the best player in the league.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, I agree.
Yep.
The one thing I'd say too, like the best thing the Eagles have ever done for Jalen Hurts is this offensive line, right? Like
correct.
When you talk about have they developed him, are they messing him up with coordinators? Like what supersedes all of that is that Jalen goes into every game for the most part knowing I got good protection in front of me. I got guys I can trust. And
can I tell you something?
That's a big thing.
Can I tell you something that I was told by Dick Vermeil? Dick Vermeil told me when Jeffrey Lurie bought the team, do me a favor, don't do what Norman Brayman didn't do. And that is never have an O-line. Jeffrey Lurie has stuck to that since 1994. Vermeil told me that about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Has that not been a benchmark?
Yeah, well,
for
absolutely.
The ownership.
Joe Banner thing too. I mean, that was a Joe Banner thing too. So yeah, no, I mean, and they've only gotten better at it. Jeff Stoutland's obviously has done what he's done. He's got
but they had Howard Mudd too.
That's right. That's right.
They had all them great guys in there.
I wonder who the next Stoutland will be. That'll be interesting. Let's get to a couple more super chats. Christopher Michael, what's up, Christopher? Following up on his earlier chat about Keely Ringo. Where's Brian Pumper when we need him? Z, Ringo can't even get on the field. Rodgers beat him out. If Rodgers would have accepted a 1-year deal, he'd be back and starting at the cornerback 2 spot. Fake news, Christopher Michael. I'm not buying that for a second. Keely Ringo is ready to rock, baby.
Christopher, they were not going to pay Keely Ringo $8 million to play the opposite corner when they just got rid of Slay. I'm starting to think, Zander, getting rid of Slay, I'm thinking that fuck CJ. Getting rid of Slay may be the thing that they'll regret.
No, Keely Ringo is going to be good.
Better than Slay?
Slay played half the year, man.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that Slay wasn't great last year, and he did provide a lot. But I'm not saying that he was replaceable. I mean, Fly Eagles Fly checks in. Will you all be on every day during the downtime? I go nuts during that time. We'll be here. We will be here. Fly Eagles. Do we look like the kind of people who hang up the cleats? We don't hang up the cleats.
Are you fucking drunk? It's the best time of the year for me. You
what
kidding me?
Malibu Zander?
There's your boy. There's your boy.
I see. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Ask Mark though. Who's the face?
Wait. There's your boy Pump.
Where? Oh, is he? There he is. Brian Pump. Surprise, MFer. My 7th heaven is ready for the challenge. Banana pudding is booty cake. Let's go, Brian Pump. I said this earlier in the segment. If you weren't here, I'll tell you again. possibly the greatest pumper take of all time, brother, will be
Keely
Ringo, who is now dominating camp.
Let me put this in your fucking book.
He dominated the mini.
Keely Ringo will be benched by week 2.
No, he won't.
Yeah. For Dory, I just got cut from the fucking Giants.
JD3 says, another day with the best coach in the world.
Dak's going to throw for 500 yards on Keely Ringo.
No, he's not. Dak is not throwing for 500 on anybody. Another day with the best coach in the world and future Hall of Famer, Nicky 19 Winiani. Nicky 19, baby. Nicky 19.
Greatest ass kisser head coach in the history.
By the way, Howard
NFL.
Proof shit. Nick Sirianni makes
Nick Sirianni, greatest ass kisser of all time.
Howard doesn't know shit about what Nick makes.
$15 million, baby.
No, it's not.
Oh, I know.
All right, I'm out of here. See you, Phils.
All right, man. My question's going to be, shit, man. If you're the Cowboys, you know what I would do? I would pull a Lou Holtz. This is the shit I would do. Yeah, man. The Eagles are just fucking great. I mean, they're just too fucking good. I mean, we can't hang with them. The name is now deemed Philly Ringo. Ringo and Adoree Jackson are your corners? Or no, is your one corner? Okay. Well, I'm not in on that. So I had a conversation with Stephen Jones. I asked him, we're going to get Mark up here in a minute. Philly 500's right around the corner too. And I asked him, and I go, how you feel about your roster? Are you going to make a move? Now, here's the deal. Dallas Cowboys sniffing around TJ Watt. Would Dallas have two $30 million plus edge rushers? Is that what they would do? Supposedly, Alexander is talking with the Cowboys too. Would you have depth? Are the Cowboys going to do that? Is Jerry got to move here? Is he going to trade for Trey Anderson? I mean, what would that do? The Cowboys, if they're going to be a player this year, the Dallas Cowboys have to be great on defense. Because, again, they have to be great on defense. Now, Houston Texans signed Nick Chubb. And so look at the backfield with the Texans. They got Joe Mixon, and now they've got Chubb. Chubb's either going to be a grand slam or he's going to be a failure. So what's Dallas going to do? Okay? What are the Cowboys going to do? All right. You know, I got to hand it to my boy, Mark Holmes. Desperate move. Oh, I see. So if the Eagles make it, it's not a desperate move with all the losses they have. But if the Cowboys do, it's a desperate move. Jerry Jones believes in player development. Okay? All right. I can't wait for this every single week. This is one of my favorite segments. Mark, I have to hand it to him, the last 2 weeks has come in stronger. I think the season's last dress rehearsals here. And I think Mark's looking forward to September 4th. With all that said,